Good evening, fans. Welcome back. It's yet another edition of Boozin with Jude, and tonight I'm going to make 3 after-dinner drinks. Today is my niece Emmy. We call her Emi because that's how my one-time New Zealand friends, when they met her, they said, "Emi, nice to meet you." So I've always called her Emi. I mentioned her in one of my very early episodes. She's one of these people that loves a frou drink. So I'm going to make some classic drinks that I will not call frou tonight and dedicate it to my friend Emi, my niece, who is celebrating her birthday today. This won't be published till after her birthday, but what the heck. So these are for you. Now I'm going to make one that, quite frankly, I'm not going to like. It's a coffee drink. It's a coffee martini. It's an espresso martini. I actually had to go out and buy some espresso. Um, I like latte. That's it, with sugar in it. So this is going to be a tough one. I'm going to make it first, and tonight I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm sort of lacking some garnishes. This is actually an espresso. It is truly a martini because it has vodka in it. So all those other things, the chocolatini, the this teeny, the apple teeny, if it doesn't have vodka or if it doesn't have gin, don't be calling it a teeny just because we're serving it in a martini glass. So first, espresso martini goes back to about 1983. It was made in London. Vodka was big in London at that time. Vodka was big at that time period. And apparently, a guy named, I think, Dick Birdsall, he owned quite a famous bar in Soho. And a famous model came up to him and said, "Make me something that will wake me up and that will get me up." I can't use that word. But he said to himself, let's use coffee. His espresso machine, it was a mess. There had been coffee grounds everywhere. He said, so I was thinking of coffee anyways. So he makes this drink up. And quite frankly, I wish the students would do this instead of drinking their Red Bull and vodka. It's a caffeine drink with vodka in it. So it'll give you the caffeine you need to perk you up a little bit while still enjoying a cocktail. So I'm going to make it even though I'm not going to like it. But a lot of you folks out there like it. So good for you. I don't have the garnishes tonight. I'll just put some chocolate on it or something. So here we go. The espresso martini basically has 3 ingredients, and that is vodka, and it's going to be 1.5 ounces of vodka. So we'll take that and we're going to put it in a shaker and over ice and shake her up. So I'm still using my Grey Goose. We're getting down to the bottom, and pretty soon I'll have to go buy more vodka. Okay, the second ingredient it takes, and I've measured it out because, as I said, I had to go buy some, is espresso. 1 ounce of coffee, espresso coffee. And it's good to use it freshly made and actually hot, because if you can froth this drink up, it looks better. So it doesn't make sense, I'm sure, to folks to put a hot bunch of coffee in a drink and then shake it up over ice and serve it cold, but that's what they say to do. Who am I to argue? I don't know much about coffee. What can I say? The third thing we're going to do is 3/4 of an ounce of, here we go, Kahlua. Kahlua. Kahlua is a coffee liqueur, and it is made in Mexico, Veracruz, Mexico, from, I don't know, what do they call them? Arabic, I don't know, coffee beans. And it's a very smooth, even I kind of like it. It's not overly sweet, but it is a liqueur. A lot of people just like it, to sip it straight or just to pour some in their coffee. But any coffee liqueur will do if you like something else better. But Kahlua is a great coffee liqueur. And so I'm using that, and there we go. We've got our 3 ingredients in there. Now we're going to add some ice. We're going to serve it up in a martini glass because you have to give it credit where credit is due. It is, in fact, a martini. Not one I would like to drink. A little Kahlua that didn't get in there. So there we go. So let's take this baby and shake it up, and then we'll see what we get, okay? And really give it a shake. You want to wake it up. Max is sleeping down here. Maybe I should give her some and it will wake her up. I don't want to wake her up. When she's up, it causes me grief. Okay, so now we're having the typical Judy problem. So yeah, it is pretty foamy. I like that. And just strain it out into your glass. I'm going to have to taste this, aren't I? What if I don't like it? So the foam has disappeared on it. Excuse me for like probably not making the best thing ever. This is just not my specialty, but I'm taking a little bit of, this is chocolate, it's chili. It's got some hot red chili pepper taste to it. And I kind of thought that'd be neat on the top since I don't have the 3 coffee beans. So here we go. Folks, here you go, Amy, if you like coffee. This is the Espresso Martini. And what I would say there is thank goodness for the Kahlua, because I actually do like it. If it didn't have that in there, I'd be like, yeah. I need sweetness when I drink coffee. As I said, it's a latte with brown sugar in it. So there's number 1, and we're going to put that there. Now the next 2 drinks I'm going to make are classics. My dad used to make these. I love these drinks. He used to make them with ice cream. Now I'm not going to do that because I don't have a blender set up, but oh man, if you want to do that, it's great. And it, you know, they're powerful drinks, so don't be fooled. But they are classics, and one is the Brandy Alexander, and the other one is the Grasshopper. And quite frankly, my dad would make these. I probably was not maybe old enough. Maybe my brothers weren't either, but you know, we all got one. They were little. We loved them. It was like, whoa. You know, it's like if you had given me brandy to drink straight or like that cream de mint, then quite frankly, I'm not a big mint fan. The cream de mint, I'm like, I'd be like, no thanks. But those drinks were really good. So next I'm going to make the Brandy Alexander. And again, garnish. You should have nutmeg. You should have fresh nutmeg and you should grate it over that. Do you think the store I went to had that? No, they said ground nutmeg. I couldn't find any. So again, I'll garnish it with a little chocolate, maybe not the chili, maybe just a regular or a caramel or a salt chocolate. So next drink, classic Brandy Alexander. Emmy, take note. This is a really nice drink. Don't be fooled. It tastes a bit like a milkshake. It was John Lennon's favorite drink. He loved it. And, you know, that should tell you it wasn't just some light alcohol. It's got you know, 1.5 ounces of 40% by volume cognac, or you can use brandy. And the creme de cacao. Remember we used that if you saw my like made up drink called the Jaffa cake, which was a chocolate orange drink. And so even though it's called creme de cacao, it's not a creamy drink. It's made out of like chocolate beans. So it's often used in coffee drinks. We could have used it in the espresso martini, but I think Kahlua is a nice drink. A nice spirit to add into there, a nice liqueur. The creme de cacao often will have like a little vanilla bean in it too. So the difference guide suggests using both the like 1/2 ounce of the dark and 1/2 ounce of the light. You're going to see the light come up in the Grasshopper, but I'm just going to use all dark, which is kind of, you know, typically what they're going to do. And as I said, it's garnished with nutmeg, but couldn't find a whole nutmeg. I'm not just going to pour some powdered ground nutmeg in there. So I'm going to go ahead and garnish it with some sea salt, chocolate, and it'll look nice. But I will say it's a good combination, nutmeg. And as I said, Dad made this with ice cream. It was so good. I'm going to use 1/2 and 1/2. Okay, so you could use full cream, you know, it just depends on the consistency you like it. But since I think I got 3 drinks and I have to drink here, and you know, I've been on a diet since I was a baby, I think I should go 1/2 and 1/2, right? But if you get a chance, you have a blender, you know, throw a scoop or 2 of vanilla ice cream in there instead, blend it up with some ice, yummy. Okay, so this drink goes back to probably before 1937, which was when it was first published. And it was originally called the Alexander, and it was made with gin. Gin instead of brandy. Imagine that. Actually, I can't. I'm going to try it someday, but it doesn't sound really good to me. Now, when they substituted brandy, look which one lasted longer. I mean, you don't hear people ordering like a gin, like an Alexander anymore. So I think that tells you there's probably a better combination of alcohol and liqueur. So what we're going to do here is we are going to take 1.5 ounces. I have Martell. It's cognac. It's VS cognac. It's not VSOP. It's not the top of the line, although Martell itself is the oldest cognac, I think. And this is a pretty good cognac. I quite enjoy it. And sometimes I just sip it straight, neat in a snifter. And I'm quite happy with it. If I'm running out of the good stuff, the real expensive stuff, this is still really good. So we're going to pour that in there. We're going to put it all over ice and shake her up. And then we'll put it in a coupe glass, which I've had chilling and is melting quickly. So we're going to do 1 full ounce of the creme de cacao, now, or cream de cocoa, whichever. Now, like I said, you could do a half and half. You could use the clear or the white creme de cacao and a 1/2 ounce of this one. So I'm going to do 1 ounce. Just going dark tonight. It's not as thick as like other chocolate. If you're making like a chocolatini, which is not the espresso martini. Like my niece and me would order a chocolatini, which is not a martini because there's no gin and there's no vodka. Those are the sort of thicker, like Godiva, the consistency of like a Bailey's or thicker. But this is just, it's not thick. But that's okay. The cream was what will make it, a little bit thicker. And as I said, if you take your pick, I haven't opened this yet. You take your pick on what sort of white. I mean, you could actually use whole milk if you were sort of desperate. It wouldn't be my choice, but you could do it, and it would still be a pretty decent drink. It's just the consistency you like in a drink. So we're going to add some ice to this, and we're going to shake this baby up and strain it into our coupe glass. And I'm going to pretend that my chocolate is nutmeg, and I'm really bummed about that because I was looking forward to that. So let's give this a good shake. Okay, come on, baby. We're getting there. It's coming. It's moving. There we go. There we go. So let's see what this one looks like. I know I'm gonna like this because I like it. I haven't had one in a long time. It's a classic drink, but you just don't see it that much. You should. I love the color. It is a bit like a milkshake, as John Lennon said. Now, remember, I told you once that my coupe glass is usually 8 ounces. This is a 9 ouncer. So that's why my drinks never fill up to the top of a coupe glass, but that's okay. We don't need to be piggish, do we? Oh. So I'm going to just take, this lovely sea salt chocolate and put that on the top. Oh, it broke. I wonder what that means. I wonder if that means that I should eat some. That was a good idea. Emmy, look at this. That's like a boozy shake. It's very good, folks. Put that back on your list. If you like after dinner drinks, but you don't want them to be like, Candyland, this is a really good drink. So I'll put this aside. And last, but certainly not least, is the Grasshopper. It's called that because it's green. Yeah, it's green. Now, the Grasshopper was created pre-Prohibition, so probably around 1918 or so. It comes from NOLA, New Orleans. Laissez les bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll. From a really nice restaurant, which still exists, called Two Jacks down in the French Quarter. And so they created this drink, and it was really popular in the 50s and 60s. It's gone out of fashion a bit. Shouldn't. It's still cool. Again, it was one of those great ice cream drinks. My mom used to make a grasshopper pie, and grasshopper pies sometimes are made with like an Oreo cookie base. So actually, you could even garnish this with Oreo cookies on the top if you want. Just crumble them up. That would be really good. I, however, don't have Oreo cookies either, so we're going back to a little chocolate. Whipped cream is nice on the top with a little chocolate. I'm just going to keep it easy. So the thing with the Grasshopper is it doesn't have a big punch, so there's not like a real heavy spirit in it, right? So we've got the cognac in the Brandy Alexander, and the Espresso Martini we have vodka. This just has 2 liqueurs and some cream. So the creme de menthe, which is think peppermint patty when you're thinking this, or junior mint. That's kind of what it is. And interestingly, I don't like mint, but I do like this drink. So just equal parts of creme de menthe, which is the green stuff, you know, creme de cacao or creme de cocoa, and we're going to use the clear stuff. And you know what? This drink's about the color. If you're going to use the dark stuff, it's going to look kind of disgusting. So basically, easy enough. 1 ounce, 1 ounce, 1 ounce. If you want to go light, 3/4 ounce, 3/4 ounce, 3/4 ounces. But we're going to do 1, 1, and 1. And actually, I'm going to serve it in a martini glass because you know what? I have good feelings about this drink. I have good memories about this drink. It was just like, I suppose it was my introduction to alcohol. My father's gone, so nobody can go back and say, hey, you've given your kids alcohol. You know what? Giving us tiny bits, and it was like this stuff. So anyways, 1 ounce of the cacao, 1 ounce of the creme de menthe, and it is like green Listerine color. It is green. Very green, folks. Wow. Been a long time. And you know what? It smells like toothpaste. I mean, in a good way. Okay, I mean, it is really a mint drink. And then your 1 ounce of, I'm going to use half and half again. You can use light cream, full cream. You can use whatever you want for the consistency's sake. Or you can use ice cream. It looks really kind of interesting in there because there's a little leftover green creme de menthe. So now my half and half has got a little sickly green tinge to it. Okay, anyways, enough of that. So pour those 3 in. Again, we're going to serve it the same way. We're going to shake it on ice, give it a good shake. I'm going to give it my martini glass because I feel like it deserves it. I just do. So we'll put some ice in here and shake this baby until the cows come home. My ice is starting to melt. Okay. We don't want a watery drink here. That's not a cool thing with a watery creme de menthe. Okay, ready to go? Here we go. Let's see how we do with this one. Come on, baby. Whew. It's enjoying its stay in there, and it's not wanting to come out. There we go. Oh, outstanding. So you just strain this right into there, and it's a creamy, foamy, lovely green color. And there we have it. And just for fun, get all the creamy part out of there. Imagine that with a big scoop of ice cream blended up in it. So we're going to take some more of our chocolate, and this is the sea salt chocolate, and put that over the top. And there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, and Emmy, the Grasshopper. Salute. Yeah, that's fun. I mean, look, you're going to drink one. You're not going to drink a lot of these. Trust me, you don't want to. I mean, it would take a while to get a bit of a buzz on that, but you know what? That's not what you want to be getting a bit of a buzz on. So let's pull them all out here. We've got the Grasshopper. We've got our lovely Brandy Alexander. And we have our Espresso Martini. The foam has gone away. And there they are. Now, which one do I think wins? I'm a fan of the Brandy Alexander the best. I do like the Grasshopper. I do like it. I'm never going to order one of these just because of my, coffee is just not a thing for me. Not strong coffee and not black coffee. But if it is, this is a good drink for you. I mean, it's a, vodka and caffeine. There you go. So, folks, thank you for joining me. Splurge someday. Have a lovely after dinner drink. Go for one of the classics and enjoy yourself. It was great to see you. See you next time on Boozin with Jude. Thanks.